What are the exact details on with this house? Where is it? How much is it going for? When was it built?
Okay, so they bought this property in Brookline, which is just outside of Boston, and it's right where the Crafts live. It's right where Bob Kraft and Jonathan Kraft both have nice houses out there. It's this beautiful spread along Brookline Country Club, a very exclusive club, and Brady bought the land back in 2013 with his wife, and they built this house. They moved in 2015, and now they're looking to turn around and sell it. They put it on the market for about $40 million. Coincidentally, that's about the amount they got for the last house they sold, which they sold to Dr. Dre in 2015, the big spread, the big compound out in California in Brentwood. That, when I look at that situation and how they built that from scratch and kind of developed some land out there and built a nice spot and turned around and sold it, that seems to be a pattern with them. So while some people are concerned about Brady selling this house, I'm not sure that's a well-founded concern. He didn't live there until 2015, and there's plenty of other places in the city for him to go and live and maybe station the family somewhere else.
How will we ever find out? This is very important news. How will we ever find out, Dave, where TB12 will relocate? Will that be public? Will that be a big subject of like a Jim Gray interview? How do we find out?
Jim Gray usually has the inside track there, but I'd have to imagine that when Tom's married to one of the most famous people in the world, so I think wherever Giselle goes, people are going to know. Yeah.
That's pretty obvious. All right, well, let's talk about the fact that he's a free agent. Where is he going to go after this year? What team will he join?
I can't imagine that he's not going to be playing for the Patriots because as the details trickled out with this contract, we saw that if they don't sign him by March 18th, they're going to eat $13 million in dead money. That's about twice the highest figure they've ever had in dead money on a single player. And the other guy was Aaron Hernandez, which was not planned. They ate $7.5 million on Aaron Hernandez in 2014. So they don't want to be sitting there with $13 million in the books next year to a player that they don't have on the roster.
At that Dave Brown, Concord Monitor, covers the Patriots. I was laying it on thick there. I don't believe that Tom Brady is leaving, but I mean, this is an impossible question to answer, but I do wonder if Brady did have a freaking collapse and, all of a sudden is, he's hurt for 6 games, doesn't look like himself, is a 20 touchdown, 18 interception guy. I mean, they're kind of locked into him now, aren't they? I mean, I wonder what Bill Belichick would do. Belichick, when it comes down to it, it's all about common sense. He doesn't make bad moves, so what would he do?
That's about the scenario in which they would have to start looking around and saying, okay, if they're evaluating Tom as not being able to be their best option at quarterback next year, then yes, maybe they start to think about moving on. And his play will dictate that, and he's been the first to say, I want to play until I suck. If I suck, then I get it. So in that scenario, okay, maybe they see how Jared Stidham's developing, maybe they take a look at who's available in the draft, or maybe they make a trade. Those things all come into play, as they do with any member of the Patriots if they're not playing well. And in that scenario, then Tom probably starts to look around, try to find a team that runs a similar offense, because I don't think he wants to start from scratch at age 43. But these are all things that will look at how the season goes and develop, and develop the plan after the season.
All right, I want to go down a path. I think that's going to drive you nuts, but I will admit I'm a Jets fan. I do a show normally.
I'm sorry.
I know. Adam Candy with me is a Giants fan. My other co-host is a Bills fan. It's a lot of sorries, although the Giants don't have to say sorry about them. We have speculated for the longest time that, man, Tom Brady is a generous guy, but my God, he's given up like $10, $15 million a year in salary every year. Yes, it helps the team, and I guess anyone who's got common sense, I want to help the team. But we've always thrown out, Dave. We've always thrown out, like, is there a side deal here? Is there like a Minister of Fun contract where Brady's going to get $3 million for the next 20 years after his career? Now, did someone actually run with something along those lines in the Boston media?
So there's like this irresponsible speculation that bubbles up now and again. First of all, he's never been that underpaid, like 10 to 15 million. That's crazy. Like that. That's never happened.
Dave,
And
Dave? What was the salary last year?
Last year, well, it's tough to say because they gave him incentives for another $5 million, and they didn't hit any of them. So, hence the $5 million bump this year. But it's funny that this came out after he got a raise.
Yeah.
That people are worried he's not making enough money,
right.
and nobody's over $30 million. He's at 23. So I don't see how you get to 10 to 15 million, and that number seems to get higher every time it comes up. Look.
Well, hey Dave, I'll explain why. Yeah. Because what I'm thinking is we think the average when you see Russell Wilson resign and you're like, hey, the new average is 34 million. So I'm thinking right away he's making 34 million. But you're right, year to year it's different, and obviously at times it gets higher on the back end of the deal than currently.
Yes, and teams play some games with the cap, and so that cap figure is the number I like to look at. But with Brady and this whole all these shenanigans that people are alleging, first of all, they suspended him 4 games for an underinflated football. Okay, I don't think the Patriots are looking to cause more problems for themselves with the league. Right. Second, is Bob Kraft going to get involved in tax evasion and money laundering possibly to filter money to Tom Brady? He's a billionaire. He's not going to risk his awesome life to funnel this money to Brady. Meanwhile, Brady is the 6th highest paid quarterback in the league, and as soon as the season starts, everybody's going to look and scrutinize him to tell you all of the reasons why he's not even that good at number 6. We spent all of last year hearing about Max Kellerman called him noodle-armed, and half the Boston media said he was in decline. And then all of a sudden, he's the greatest quarterback again every time contract time comes around. So there are these competing narratives. Is Tom Brady the noodle-armed, cliff-diving quarterback? Or is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback who ever lived, still playing at the height of his game and somehow underpaid?
Yeah, I guess the way I look at him, because he's the bane of my existence for 20 years now, is that he is the greatest quarterback who's ever played. He is still a top 6 guy. And unlike other athletes, and this is why he needs to be patted on the back. This is why he's evil incarnate, because he will take less money when everyone else, if you look at the Kobe Bryant example, Kobe's like, discount, I don't care. No, I'm going to take $49 million for my last 2 years because I deserve it. Brady just doesn't do that because he also sees the big picture, which is, hey, I want to stay upright. I don't want to get my ass kicked, and we need more money for the offensive line and other positions.
Well, I'll tell you what. People in Boston have a tough time with the idea that somebody might give something up for the greater good, that might sacrifice something for themselves to help other people and help others achieve. And so, of course, we immediately scrutinize that and say, okay, something shady has to be going on. We can't trust the idea of somebody being selfless.
Dave Brown's with us. All right, hey, how about we close on this? And I appreciate the time today. And we definitely want you on down the road because we're always in need of, we'll say, objective Patriot voices, right? What is going to happen with this money? Do they have a chance to fortify the offensive line? What's the latest going on with Trent Williams?
Yeah, so this rumor popped up last week. Every time a big-name player becomes available or might become available, the name is instantly tied to the Patriots. And, I don't know what's up with that particular situation, but I think that there's a lot of incentive for agents to say, hey, Bill Belichick's interested. Maybe everyone should be. So right now, you're looking at Isaiah Wynn, who's a rookie, playing over there on the left side. And he's still not in contact yet. So we don't know what he's going to be. And the backup skipper, he's not, again, they haven't had much of a chance to look at him. If they could go get a guy who's a top guy like Trent Williams, I'm sure they'd love to have him. But even if now that they have just enough room to fit him under the cap, they still have in-season bonuses to look at. As Williams' contract next year isn't really favorable for them. So I'm not sure if it works, but I can tell you that they'd love to have a veteran guy over there.
Good deal. We appreciate the time. This guy is one of the best follows, especially in New England media. He's great. He's funny. He's battling with people all the time on Twitter. It's @ThatDaveBrown. Dave, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot.